This morning I was crying.
To the world, it looks like Tamron Hall and her husband have a perfect marriage. But is that really the case behind closed doors? From day one, they've kept their relationship hidden from the public eye, and it's been reported that there's a reason for that intense secrecy. And more recently, a story has come out about Tamron that could actually destroy her relationship. Listen closely because you won't believe what's going on with Tamron's marriage. The couple first began dating each other in 2017, but they kept it super under wraps. In an interview with Steve Harvey that year, Tamron admitted that she was dating someone in the entertainment industry, but she kept tight-lipped about who it was. It wasn't until years later that she started opening up about the details of how she and Steven Greener met. In an interview with Parade, she revealed that they'd known each other 4 years before they became an item. But Tamron didn't see him as someone she was romantically interested in at first. She revealed that Steven had approached her and they had conversations, and she didn't realize that he was asking her out for a date. She said, "He used to run into me and say, 'What are the odds that you're here?' I know he thinks he had game." Eventually, they just sat down and he invited her out for pizza. Not long after, she'd left her job at NBC News and The Today Show. She shared that not being at work and in the grind every day brought out a different side of her, a lightness that she hadn't recognized. And that's when Steven came into her life. But one of the earliest red flags of their relationship was how fast things moved. Just 3 weeks after their pizza date, they were already living together. That situation came with its own problems, and it reportedly brought Tamron a lot of shame. She made a pretty wild confession on Live with Kelly and Ryan in 2019, where she revealed that her mom had old school Southern morals, so she had to hide Steven when she visited.
When my mom first visited us.
So it feels like their relationship kind of started out in the dark with shame attached to it. And that kind of thing can end up having a long-lasting effect. It shows that there might be a lack of trust. The couple even kept their marriage a secret. The world didn't know that they'd tied the knot until long after they'd walked down the aisle. There's probably a number of reasons why they kept it to themselves, but there was one reason that was honestly a little heartbreaking to hear about. It came from a place of fear, and Tamron was especially worried about it. An article by BET revealed that during an interview with the YBF, she expressed the concern she had about being in an interracial marriage. She explained that she never imagined that her husband would be white. She grew up in Texas in a predominantly black neighborhood, and she'd dated almost exclusively men of color, black men. But Steven just so happened to be the person that she fell in love with. One of the reasons that she was hesitant about sharing the news of her marriage was reportedly because she was scared that her partner would get hurt. She said, "There was a worry in the sense of I didn't want him ridiculed or hurt, and I didn't want anyone feeling bad about themselves." Tamron also addressed a rumor about how she ended up settling for a white man because she'd been let down by a black man. She explained that in no way did her marrying her husband mean that black men had failed her. She went on to reveal that she was raised by an unapologetic black man who served in the U.S. Army for 30 years. She said that this was who she was. This was the fiber of who she was. Though she'd kept her marriage a secret at first, she reportedly began talking more openly about it later because she wanted labels to be broken down. And she was using her talk show to bring in conversations that were really happening. Something else that she and Steven kept buried for a while was the news of Tamron's pregnancy. The public had no idea that she was married or pregnant until March 2019. It was only when she posted the baby news on Instagram and referred to Steven as her husband in it that we learned that all these big milestones have been going on in her life. When it came to her pregnancy, Tamron had a much more tragic reason for keeping it out of the limelight. She was an open book in her interview with Allure. Tamron was in her late 40s when she and her husband were trying to have a baby together. To get pregnant, she shared that she had to go through many rounds of IVF. She said that it was a grueling experience filled with challenges. Tamron admitted that even though she felt privileged to have that procedure and access, and she felt grateful for the opportunity, it still hurt her. The injections she had to do were apparently very painful, and she confessed that when she was on the road for work, she always needed help from her friends nearby with them. She said, "When I was traveling, I was afraid to give myself the injections. It was very painful, and I couldn't work up the nerve. It's brutal. I honestly feel so bad that she had to go through with something as difficult as that. But thankfully, she got her son Moses out of it, which must have made the struggle worthwhile." In her Instagram post, Tamron explained the reason why she'd kept her pregnancy under wraps for so long. She said that she wanted to share the news for many months, and her doctor had finally told her that she was in a safe place at 32 weeks to share her joy with everyone. She revealed that there had been many tears, but on that day, she embraced the smiles, and she added that she and her husband were beyond excited. Another red flag, though, is that Steven is a disturbingly private person. I mean, if you look him up, you will barely find anything about his personal life unless it's in a story about his wife. Apart from LinkedIn, he doesn't have any form of social media, and he's rarely spoken about anything non-work related with the public. Has his extreme desire for privacy had an effect on Tamron? She'll open up about anything in her life except for her relationship, so some people are wondering if that's by choice or if she's being forced to keep that part of her from the public. While talking to people, she addressed the rumors that she wanted Steven to stay hidden from the world. She said, "So I've always been very cautious. I think today people mistake privacy for secrecy. People say he's my secret husband. So is that really the case? Or is there something that she doesn't want the public to know?" There's a story that recently started to circulate online that could be very damaging to Tamron's relationship if there is any truth to it. A week before the 2024 election, a reporter named J.K. Trotter shared an article about an explosive rumor that first started to make the rounds in the mid-2010s. According to J.K., journalists at NBC reportedly found evidence that Tamron and Donald Trump once had an affair. He theoretically would have been married to Melania at the time, and it would have happened before he ran for president in 2016. But no media outlet was willing to publish the story for fear of getting sued, since there weren't any reliable sources to prove that they'd ever been intimate together. Days after Donald Trump's inauguration in 2017, the news came out that Tamron had chosen to leave NBC News and Today, but she didn't give an explanation for her decision. The suspicious timing did not help quieten the whispers surrounding their alleged affair. And you're not going to believe what else was said about the bizarrely matched duo. It was something seriously shocking. J.K. wrote that there was also the rumor that Donald Trump had gotten Tamron pregnant and that Tamron stopped the pregnancy from reaching full term. Neither of them has commented on the conspiracy theory, which some people think is strange. If it's not true, then why didn't Tamron ever just come out and say that? Who knows how this scandalous allegation is affecting her marriage? It's the kind of controversy that could end up breaking a relationship. But anyway, what do you guys think? Are Tamron and Steve simply just super private people? Or is there something else going on that they feel they need to hide? Do you think that there's a chance that this Donald Trump rumor could hurt Tamron's marriage? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below.